What's going on, everyone? My name's Security Denied, and welcome back to the Average Gamer's Perspective on the TWID, also known as This Week in Destiny. This week in Destiny, the Desert Perpetual raid was completed for the first time ever. Congratulations to the winners of the world's first race, but also huge congrats to everyone that participated, whatever they completed it or not. It was a tough challenge. Now for this week's topics. Desert Perpetual was completed, roundup of Destiny 2 Teams comms. Week 2 of the Edge of Fate is on. Arms Week is coming next week. Vanguard approved briefs 004 and 005. Bungie Foundation campaign update. Conquering Desert Perpetual. After fighting through contest mode for more than 15 hours and facing 3 indomitable bosses at the highest difficulty possible, the team defeated Koragos, the World Line. It took them many tries of leaving that overgrown harpy with just a sliver of health remaining, but they did it, and the Desert Perpetual was completed. Congratulations one more time to Team Nuts, our new world first race winners. And they are? Congratulations to them. Huge feat. Your name shall forever be remembered among the stars, and you have earned not only the glory of bragging rights, but also the world first raid belts. The Desert Perpetual is now available in normal difficulty, and everyone who owns the Edge of Fate and has completed the Edge of Fate campaign can jump into it and experience the lengths that the Conductor and the Coral Vex will go to achieve their goals. There are many new weapons to earn, some amazing lore, and, of course, a new exotic. We won't spoil any of those, though go discover them for yourself. What we will talk about is the new feat system for raids. How do these work? If you have entered the customization menu of the portal, this will look very familiar. You can choose different modifiers to make your experience more challenging in exchange for more rewards to complete triumphs. You want contest mode difficulty? You can get it. Completing raids with some feats on will also complete certain triumphs that will allow you to earn higher tiered rewards, so it's really worth it. I think that's good that they're allowing you to put on contest mode for raids, because I know a lot of people have been asking for that experience to get into the raid race scene, so I think it's a good idea to bring that in. And you get higher tier rewards for adding more of these difficult challenges and modifiers and things like that, so good change. A bag big enough to carry with. For those who conquered Koragos, the World Line, Bungie rewards await you. Claim your triumphs and stop by the Bungie store for the Desert Perpetual Raid Jacket and the Desert Perpetual Cadet Max Sling Bag by Chrome Industries. Players have until August 29th, 2025 at 9:59 a.m. Pacific Time to complete the raid and earn these rewards until October 7th, 2025 at 11:59. To purchase from the Bungie store, players who complete the raid by December 2nd, 2025 at 9:59 will also unlock the Desert Perpetual raid pin. Pretty sick. That's a clean jacket. Very clean. I like that it's not like over designed, but it's like just enough, Bag's pretty sick too. The Edge of Fate post-launch support. As things start to calm down a bit after the Edge of Fate release and after the heart-stopping world first race, there are some topics that we wanted to address directly today. No game launch is perfect, and on top of that, we need to add the many changes implemented in this release that need some time to adjust to. Additionally, we're aware that there were some missing patch notes for Destiny 2 Update 9.0.0. Below you'll find details on ammo and stats, but we're still investigating a handful of balance changes, Warlock Titan, and more, and we hope to have those details together next week. We've been trying to keep everyone informed on these topics with regular updates from our Destiny 2 team accounts, so you may have already read some of these, but we've also collected them here for anyone who wants to get caught up. Portal and World tabs. We're going to revert the desaturation of the World tab in an upcoming update. Very nice. During development, we had feedback that players were confused between the Portal and World tabs for where to find core game activities. Many gravitated to the familiar Director UI, so we chose to visually adjust it, but it's clear now that we overreacted to that feedback. Well, yeah, people who played Destiny for a long time are gonna go back to the old directory just because that's what they know, right? They don't know the portal that well, and they don't really want to experience it or explore it, and that's fine. You don't need to tune down the Director UI because they're not using your new stuff. But oh well, glad they're fixing it. Our intention going forward is for the Portal tab to serve as a quick access point to core game activities and for the World tab to support exploration of the Destiny world. Both are important to us, and we will continue to upgrade both. Yeah, I think the Portal's really nice, especially as an average player. I like just hopping in and clicking on what I want to do without having to explore the World tab. But yeah, I made a video earlier this week. They kind of went over all of my thoughts on the Edge of Fate, including the Portal, so feel free to head over there and check it out. It's a great video. Bright Dust and the Edge of Fate. We're going to add an infinite grind source for Bright Dust and pair it with a Make Good grant in an upcoming update. In our effort to reduce friction to playing activities, we chose to retire the core game Pathfinder in favor of simpler daily objectives with an improved and unlimited mini objective system planned for release in Renegades later this year. Knowing we were removing the infinite grind source until Renegades, we rebalanced Bright Dust awards to be larger for most players. It's clear that many players also value having the additional grind source, so we will add an interim replacement. I like that. People like that Bright Dust for the store. I know I do. Alright, Power Deltas and Contest Raid. We enjoyed watching the Desert Perpetual World first race and contest attempts and completions throughout the weekend, but also want to let everyone know we are tracking feedback items and issues reports that have been coming in from the community. We're seeing reports of enemies being at higher power delta than what the activity advertises. We will investigate, and this is a high priority for us this week. While we want contest mode to challenge your loadouts, your teamwork, and your puzzle solving abilities, the highest end of damage has been reported to feel that it requires far more than expected. That's what I've heard too, especially when watching the day one raid race. Each raid we've shipped has been unique, especially at contest difficulty. This will continue, and for our players who desire challenge, do not worry. We will continue to offer it. That said, we will use feedback from this weekend to inform our future as we continue to develop these experiences. Additionally, we are looking to reward quality. What tiers rewards within the raid are dropping at within contest difficulty and their power in relation to yours. There are ways to increase your reward quality in normal difficulty via raid feats, and we will be watching feedback around these systems as players get deeper into them. I definitely think that raid is the end game for the campaign, right? The raid is like, it wraps up the entire expansion in a nice neat little bow. It's the end game, right? And when people are getting tier 1s that are at a lower power, that's kind of rough, right? I think raids should definitely drop pinnacle gear. It should be a pinnacle activity, and it should drop at least tier 2 gears so you can start getting enhanced perks, so that if you get your god roll, you don't need to go for anything higher unless you just want higher stats, right? But I think that dropping at least tier 2 to get those enhanced perks and have everything be pinnacle is what they should do. Finally, we are aware of an issue where rally flags are not refreshing ammo and abilities consistently. The team is investigating, and we will have an update as soon as possible. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Also, the sprint bug, so annoying, especially in Crucible when you're trying to run around and you can't do nothing. So you just sit there and die because you look like a scarecrow in the middle of a field. Feels bad, feels bad. Ability regeneration in Armor 3.0, good. This one's been a rough point, especially with the new stat changes. We've been investigating reports that ability regen was not recharging at the rates communicated in a previous TWID following the 9.0.0.1 update. Many thanks to our community sleuths who discovered this issue and brought it to our attention. Right now, the ability stats, Grenade, Melee Class, and Super are returning less ability energy than stated in our previous communications. We had previously stated that hitting 70 in an ability stat in the Edge of Fate was equivalent to certain pre-the Edge of Fate values for Discipline, Strength, each class ability's regen stat, and Intellect, and that going above 70 would result in faster recharging than before. That is not the case. This isn't currently true for the 70 mark, but it is for the 85 mark. We intend to make it true for the 70 in an upcoming update. Our design goal for the Edge of Fate stats is to let players be able to reach higher heights than previously possible in-game by investing heavier into specific stats, but also to have interesting trade-offs when making build crafting choices. Making the 70 stat one of the biggest trade-off points is important for our design goals and for meeting player expectations for build crafting in the Edge of Fate. This is a simplified explanation of the situation. Expect a full breakdown of how the stats are being corrected to be shared in the accompanying patch notes. Suffice it to say, mistakes were made and we're sorry for the accidental confusion here. We intend to make it right quickly. And as always, we appreciate the members of the community who noticed this discrepancy and pushed it F2 and pushed it to our attention. Ammo economy. The Weapons and Armor Sandbox team has been absorbing a lot of feedback this week around the ammo economy changes in the Edge of Fate, and we're eager to share details on where we think the system is and where it will go. First, we wanted players to have more control over ammo acquisition, being able to know when it will drop in combat. Second, we wanted to provide build crafting options to generate ammo with some trade-offs that we could evolve long-term with more buildcraft support options. In the Edge of Fate, ammo could be built into through the ammo generation stat, mods, and perks in weapons, and the weapon stats and ammo tuning mods in armor. Lastly, we wanted to slightly reduce ammo gains for players who don't invest in this stat at all, while providing more ammo than pre the Edge of Fate values if folks invest more, even enabling and supporting the running of double special ammo builds in PvE. However, we missed the mark in some of our targets, and we've absorbed feedback from our community. We want to make some additional changes in update 9.0.0.3. We've made a few targeted adjustments and have more coming in the next few weeks, and then even more planned in the long run. We're committed to updating and balancing this core system to promote healthy build crafting diversity and to construct a fun living sandbox for players to engage in. I like the ammo generation bar. I think it's really nice to know when you're going to get ammo. Like, we know we're not getting it as often as we would like to compared to pre the Edge of Fate values. But I do like knowing when ammo is going to drop, so I'm not sitting there grinding unknowingly waiting for RNG to drop, especially for heavy ammo. Man, it was so difficult, but I like knowing when it's going to happen. With updates 9.0.0.3, players will see the following: increased rocket sidearm ammo per ammo brick, 5 to 6 base, 10 to 12 enhanced ammo brick. Swords fixed a bug that was reducing their total ammo. This also increased their ammo per brick slightly. Fixed some area denial frames, only getting 1 ammo per brick. They will now get 3 base and 6 enhanced. Very good. We're currently playtesting the following changes, which are subject to change with an eye for most to ship in update 9.0.0.4, planned to release on July 29th. Players at the lowest end of ammo investment, 0 stat, 0 mods, will see ammo progress faster, providing more bricks. Ultimately, our initial tuning here was a bit too punitive, and we want to bring it a bit closer to the pre-Edge of Fate values while still encouraging a bit more buildcraft investment to procure ammo more regularly. Increase the ammo per brick for some additional weapon types. Buff the ammo generation stats for some exotic weapons that are lagging behind so they generate ammo faster. Good. In the long run, we want to address the following additional feedback items to ensure a healthy ammo system for the game that can expand and provide more unique playstyles. Provide a better method of highlighting ammo drops or recovering ammo if it falls off the map or into unreachable locations. That is so annoying when you kill an enemy and it explodes and then all the ammo that you wanted to pick up, gone. Disappeared into the back rooms. Never to be seen again, you know? Improving how assists generate ammo for players. Continue to build more sandbox combat hooks for generating ammo, enabling players to feel like they specialize in ammo generation even for their teammates. Alright, more activities coming to the portal. This is what we've been waiting for. More stuff to do. After the launch week comes week 2. Most of you have completed the campaign at least once by now. Got a bit more familiar with the portal and its many activities and rewards, and a few daring guardians may have even jumped into the new raid. But this is just the beginning. On Tuesday, week 2 started, and on top of a weekly refresh of the seasonal hub rewards, a new set of seasonal weekly challenges, we have new activities coming into the portal. Onslaught Midtown and Onslaught Widow's Court will arrive at Fireteam Ops. On top of that, Suros Foundry weapons will be overcharged for the week, so give them a try when doing some hard challenges. On the PvP side of things, we have Cutting Edge, a new game mode that requires featured gear to enter, making the meta quite different to other PvP game modes. Give it a try to earn some of the unique Crucible weapons, like that beautiful new Solar Rocket sidearm. Yeah, I like this game mode. It mixes up the gameplay loop, and I get to use new stuff and go against the new stuff, which is nice. instead of going up against the same old meta that's been there for forever. Even if you are still busy bringing additional characters up to speed, completing triumphs, fighting secrets from Kepler, and maybe fighting through the fabled and mythic missions, we recommend you try all of them and see what rewards are dropping. Increasing your power level as you play them will open more opportunities to earn higher tier rewards. And after week 2, more content is coming. Here's a reminder of what Season Reclamation will offer to all players. Here we go. Week of July 22nd, this week. Expert and Master matchmaking options available. Week of July 29th. The Arms Week event launches with a focus on hand cannons. Trials of Osiris is back with new armor sets and tiered weapons to earn. The Coil activity opens in Fireteam Ops, featuring 3 different paths in rotation to play. Weeks of August 5th to 19th. The Solstice event will take place. That's exciting. I like that event. Matchmaking opens for Grandmaster Fireteam Ops. Week of September 2nd. Heavy Metal event returns. I think that'll be fun. I'm excited to see what changes they make. I hope it's not just the same activity, so I think it'll be good. September 9th, the Ashen Iron major update. Dungeon content, more details to come. Ashen Iron sounds like I feel like they're hyping up Ashen Iron more than the Edge of Fate. Like, I just feel more hyped about the Ashen Iron update than I did about the Edge of Fate. And then dungeon content. Interested to see what that is. If it's a new dungeon, I'm excited for that. I like the dungeons. Prepare for Arms Week. As we mentioned above, Arms Week is coming on July 29th. The name might sound familiar to most veteran Destiny 1 players, but the approach is quite different this time. Arms Week is a 1-week duration event focused on a single weapon archetype. In this first week, we are honoring hand cannons. The first step into Arms Week is to visit Ada 1, not at her usual spot down in the tower near the Drifter, but at the new shooting range that launched alongside the Edge of Fate that you can launch via the tower map. Ada 1 will give you a pursuit that kicks off the Arms Week event, as well as a brand new hand cannon. Ooh, Phonutria Fera. More on this cool weapon below. By playing activities with hand cannons, you'll gather combat telemetry that allows Ada 1 to build weapons. Ooh, build more weapons. Good job, Ada 1. You're finally doing your job again. And other rewards for you, including time-limited but very powerful volatile mods you can slot into the event's featured weapon archetype. Fancy living. I like it. It kind of gives me Still Hunt vibes with like these little things right here, these brackets. And the color scheme, very Still Hunt coded. And here's the spread shot hand cannon. Excited to see what it does. Then with your favorite hand cannon at hand, you also have a set of daily and weekly challenges that will be available at the Arms Week event home. We talked about the event's home on the April 24th TWID, if you remember. Completing these challenges will award you progression for the event track, which has rewards of many types, from currencies to holofoil weapons if you reach the higher ranks, but also event tokens. These tokens are essential to the event and will help you get more rewards in the event shop. The other currency to take into consideration are reroll chips, earnable from the event track and the event stop, and in the event shop for event tokens in silver, weapons, and more. As you can imagine, hand cannons will be the focus also for rewards. As we teased above, there's a new solar hand cannon that's kind of the star of this event, the Phonutria Fera. It's one of our first ever spread shot hand cannons. Trials of Osiris will have another one. And it works like a shotgun that has traded a bit of punch for the ability to use primary ammo. That's why it has perks like 1-2 punch in its perk pool. Very cool. Along with Phonutria Fera, there's a set of legacy hand cannons to earn for completionists and Ribbontail. A new strand adaptive trace rifle that can roll with proximity power and detonation beam, among others. On top of all these weapons, there's new volatile weapon mods that will also be earned through Arms Week. They are available for the duration of the event and can only be slotted into the featured weapon type, so put them in your hand cannons and wreak havoc. Chaotic munitions. Precision Final Blows produce randomized effects. Interesting. Cowboy Grip. Supremely improved hipfire weapon performance. Man. The what's it called? The last word is gonna go crazy. Fragmentation rounds. Precision Final Blows create multiple explosive submunitions. Interesting. We hope you're ready for our next event. I am excited for Arms Week. I think it'll be fun. Hand cannons are dominating the Crucible right now, so we'll see how that performs. If it does tie into PvP. I think it will. I hope it does, but hand cannons are just way strong in PvP right now. All right. Got some lore. Briefs 004 and 005. Vanguard Kepler restricted brief, all points bulletin. Guardian operative. Dispatch contains restricted information for select fire teams and will purge this data upon closure. The Nessian Schism. Classification: Vex separated from collective, echo-crafted, individualistic minds subservient to the conductor, aka Maya Sundaresh. Hazards: standard Vex armaments and temporal manipulation. Predictive clairvoyance against non-paracausal operatives. Modified shielding, anti-paracausal barrier, individualized tactics, Nessian Schism. Intel: the Nessian Schism, colloquially referred to as the Coral Vex, arose when an echo spawned from the defeat of the Witness impacted Nessus. A new Vex being, the Conductor, rose from the Radiolaria and converted the Vex active on Nessian into her own faction. The stated goal of the Nessian Schism is to use the Vex to bring the Golden Age of humanity into the present. The Conductor has given her Vex autonomy to more effectively branch out their pursuit of this goal. The leader of the Nessian Schism, the Conductor, possesses one of the echoes created from the Witness's death. It allows her to command immense power and force others to obey her. Non-Guardian operatives and all Guardian operatives below a Sigma 3 rank are ordered to retreat upon encountering the Conductor. These Vex signatures re-emerged on Kepler recently. It is unknown what their motivations are, but the local Elixni and humanoid population are not aligned with this Vex incursion. All of Kepler and our mission is threatened by their presence. Ooh, spooky. Of note, Ghost has a file on the insults Vex of the Nessian Schism have broadcast to him during your engagements with their forces. Since their emergence on Nessus, and the Schism has receded into the VexNet. Hidden operatives have been unable to track the Conductor and her denizens within the network, but they report massive destabilization across the simulated infrastructure and heightened encounters with Coral Vex across the network. Interessante. Alright, we're going to learn about the Combatant Imp. Classification: Coral Vex, Nessian Schism, Radiolaria, Microorganic Colony, Swarm. Hazards: Flight, Erratic, Laser Emitters, Multi-Frame Swarm, Matter Deconstructor, Carbon-Edged Claws. Intel: the Vex Imp is made up of a swarm of small flight-capable Vex frames, typically armed with standard Vex laser weaponry, while a single frame of an Int swarm presents little threat. Their numbers and small target silhouette make them dangerous. Leading theory speculates that the Vex Imp Swarm is one singular entity, ungoverned by a mind. Preliminary tests suggest that each Radiolaria within an imp is a copied organism, an imprinted replication of a host or core body believed to be housed in the central imp frame. Imps vary in behavioral drivers, but a shared function is that a decomposer. Imps will break down and reconstitute any material to grow their swarm, both inorganic and organic. One hidden report states that an operative on the ground states imps may keep portions of themselves hidden far away from the main swarm. It is possible that no operatives has in truth destroyed a single imp completely. Of note, imps have been seen harassing larger targets such as Elixni Briggs over long periods of pursuit to weaken them before moving in with confidence and disassembling them. New imp subframes are then created with frightening speed if left unassailed. There's a particular imp swarm self-referred to as a Vast. Reports warn this swarm ambushes Guardian operatives in an attempt to consume their ghost. They kind of remind me of buzz droids from Star Wars, how they just take down ships and how they act in general. So they're kind of spooky. I hate seeing swarms sometimes. They're not difficult to handle, but they're kind of just spooky and overwhelming sometimes. All right, Bungie Foundation campaign update. Hey Guardians, it's been an incredible Bungie Day celebration so far, with nearly $1 million raised for the Bungie Foundation's mission supporting children's health and well-being, humanitarian aid and inclusion, diversity and equity. We've got one less punch on deck to make our impact to the next level. Join us 7/29 at 10 a.m. on the Bungie Foundation Twitch channel for Bungie Day Finale livestream, including the conclusion of our 7th Column Chaos PvP tournament. 4 stack teams will be competing for glory and major bragging rights, that is, if they can survive the chaos. Viewers on Twitch will have the chance to influence the action by voting on modifiers and upping the chaos factor even higher for a good cause. It's definitely going to get a little sweaty in the Crucible. Interesting. So these are the teams. We've got Paracausal Ponies, Colonel's Revenge, Crash, Telesto, Stranger Danger. It wouldn't be a Bungie Foundation livestream without some Primo Pixels. Neon Fade will be available for donation during our livestream. One of the sickest emblems around will be making its way to your inventory and driving more good around the world in the process. Plus, we'll have a Twitch drop enabled for another brand new emblem, just for watching the stream. All of this plus extra shenanigans, rare items up for auction, and good vibes. Yeah, we're stoked. It's going to be an epic time as we close out another campaign celebrating the amazing feats you all accomplished together as a community. Mark your calendars for July 29th at 10 a.m. We'll see you on Twitch. One final reminder, 7/29 at 11:59 p.m. will mark the end of this year's Bungie Day campaign. Get your donations in now for this year's slate of exclusive incentives and help change the world. So this is the emblem you'll get for just watching. That's pretty sick. That's going to be it for this week's Twid. Hope you enjoyed watching. Didn't cover a whole lot. I know there's some things that have come out recently that Bungie is hopefully addressing soon, especially with the cheaters that were in the raid. Like, holy crap. Like, what did it say? Like 70% of the teams that completed the raid race were cheating. Isn't that crazy? Where's the anti-cheat? Oh yeah, Bungie doesn't have one. They kind of have one, but it's not good. Again, I think the Tiger engine is just really outdated, especially with this day and age of technology and with how people can work around it so easily. I don't know. For a game like Destiny, they need to evolve, they need to change, but that's just me. That's just me, an average gamer. That's just me. Okay. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts were on This Week in Destiny, and I will look forward to seeing you next week with the next Twid, also known as This Week in Destiny. Keep an eye out for that. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you all for coming to watch it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!